Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go! Do you have absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for?
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula bore formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes. Do you think that worked? I think that worked. Who's here today? What's happening?
Sean Kelly, we have a full house of extraordinary people today. And first up from New Jersey, we have Michael Castro, Senior VP of Corporate Lending, covers the tri-state area and has been 16 years experience in baking. Let's welcome Michael to the Heart of Influence.
Michael, welcome. How are you?
Doing good. Doing good.
Awesome.
Happy
so,
to
Michael,
be here.
Yeah, we're happy to have you here. We're going to ask for a fun fact. Could be your most proud moment, your most embarrassing moment, any moment that you want to share that might make us go, Michael, no way. So, Michael, what's a fun fact?
I do enjoy singing country music, karaoke.
Michael, no way. Yeah, that is fun. So what's your favorite song to sing karaoke, Michael?
There's so many. The one that comes to mind, and it's not actually country, is a Kings of Leon song, Use Somebody.
Ooh, nice. Michael's rocking it. And what's the mission in the world, Michael? What is life about for you?
What is life about? Forming relationships and giving wherever I can.
Beautiful. Well, feeling that. Welcome to the Heart of Influence, sir. And by the way, what is the Heart of Influence? We're here with extraordinary people to play with the superpower of influence, but not any kind of influence. Not pitching, not hooking, not closing. No. Integrous influence. Opening our heart, transparently sharing, connecting, and causing truth by adding more value than we take in a gamified way. We could meet each other over a hamburger, I don't know, at Capitol Grill or something, or we could be doing this. So thank you all for being here. Belle, we got Michael. Who else do we have?
Yes, we do have Michael. We also have from Clarksville, Tennessee, Stephen Pemberton, CEO at Hollow and Company, bringing brick and mortar businesses online without having to be techy. Started the business with his wife 4 years ago and has built it to a $3 million company. And their purpose is to build online presence while driving traffic back to the physical store. Let's welcome Steve Pemberton to the Heart of Influence.
welcome. And do you go by Steve or Steven?
Doesn't matter.
What's
Whatever works best for you.
What's your preference? We like to call you what feels best.
So honestly, I grew up with my dad being Steve, so Steven works a little bit better for me.
Beautiful. Thank you for that, Steven. And how about your fun fact? What's that?
So my fun fact is a funny one, similar to Michael's, is I am Hawaiian. So I'm 50% Hawaiian. So my middle name is Keanu. So I grew up my entire life thinking that it was because I was Hawaiian. Funny enough, my dad, who is completely white, he named me Keanu because of Keanu Reeves. So I did not get my middle name for being Hawaiian.
Well, via con Dios, brother, from the famous moment at Point Break, Keanu is in the building. So really appreciate that very much, Stephen. Am I saying that right? It's Stephen, correct?
Yes, Stephen.
Yeah,
yes.
Stephen, yep. So appreciate that, Stephen. Thanks for being here today. And we're going to have some fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Stephen's in the house, Bella. Who else is here?
Stephen is in the house. Next up, we have Kevin
Vermeulen.
Vermeulen from 30 years in legal marketing, COO of Good to Be Social, specializing in legal and law firm marketing, innovator of the year in B2B media, and previously an executive for ALM for 23 years. Let's welcome Kevin to the Heart of Influence.
Kevin, welcome to the party. And would you mind regaling us with a fun fact?
You know, I don't have many fun facts, but I'll try. I mean, it's what I like to do. I'll give you a little fun fact. On nice quiet mornings on the weekends when the family is sleeping, I like to get up and go around the yard and just pull out weeds just to get my head totally distant from everything else going on in the world.
Well, that is a fun fact for sure. It's like, no way, like you're pulling weeds. That's super cool, Kevin. And what's the mission, the vision, the purpose? What are you pulling weeds to sort of take a break from thinking about that you're creating in the world?
Well, what I like to do in the world, the mission is kind of help people, but have a good time doing it.
Beautiful. That's awesome. What's one of your favorite ways to help people, or what's something that's been fun for you over the last few years in supporting people?
Helping them make money for their businesses, for themselves, helping them be happy, working with small companies and just helping them grow to become larger companies. I have a lot of joy in doing that.
Oh, beautiful. I could feel it authentically flowing through your heart. Kevin, welcome to the Heart of Influence, and thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Bill, we got Kevin. Who else do we have?
Kevin, and with Kevin, we have Allan Valvano from East Hanover, New Jersey, general manager and operating partner at Paymedia, 30 years experience in technology and entrepreneurship, leadership and oversight group at church, and married for 40 years with 3 grandchildren. Let's welcome Allan to the Heart of Influence.
Allan, congratulations on an intentional and extraordinary life, sir.
Thank you so much. What was the question you want to ask me? Answer again? You want to know something?
What's your fun fact? Something we wouldn't expect to hear about you.
I was listening to everybody else, and I didn't know. There's a lot of fun facts, but I would tell you that the coolest thing that happened to me, I think one of the coolest things in my life, probably one of the top 2, is I was engaged to a young woman, and we broke up, and I was despondent. I was 20 some years old, and thought that was the only woman in the world for me. And my mother told me God had a girl for me right around the corner. I didn't believe her and all the women around. And I go to a park with a friend of mine, and there she was. And I talk a lot. When I get nervous, I speak all the time. And I tell her the truth is that when I saw her, she took my breath away, and I didn't know what to say. I had trouble talking. I had trouble speaking. And I'm still married to her. It's 42 years. That's 43 years. I dated for 2 and married for 40, going on 41. So she's still here. So that's my fun fact.
That is a heart-touching, beautiful, courageous, and vulnerable story. Congratulations, man. And thanks for being here today.
It's more on her part than mine. She's a very forgiving woman. So it's a good thing, right?
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you, Allan. Thank you for sharing that being here. Your heart is also clearly present. Bella, Heart Center group today, and we have
And last but not least, we have Mr. Derek Law from Brigham City, Utah, franchise area developer for Pure Life Medical, as well as a business owner and musician, provides support and training for Pure Life Medical franchises throughout Utah, loves writing, performing, and believing a well-done 3-minute song can have a profound impact on hundreds of people. Let's welcome Derek Law.
Eric, how are you, brother?
I'm fantastic.
Awesome. And what's your fun fact, Eric?
My fun fact is that I have 4 beautiful children, and so every night, my wife and I we work really hard to get them calmed down and ready for bed. We start dimming the lights and bedtime stories, all of that. And once they've got their pajamas on and teeth brushed and are just about to get in bed, then I found this song. It's called like the Hamster Dance or something like that. It's this really upbeat, kind of annoying song. And so I'll just start playing that on my phone as soon as they're like ready to go to bed. And then we all dance like maniacs. And it's amazing that I'm still married after, these many 12 years. So.
Eric, that is a beautiful story, a great disruption. Heart-centeredness is present. What a vulnerable and awesome group. And by the way, in terms of ease of first names, because I'm blind and I can't see, having a day with a Michael, Stephen, Kevin, Allan, and Derek, woof, that makes my life easy as a blind dude to remember the people that are here today. So that's also a fun
They
fact.
all had relatively easy last names too, Sean.
Yes, this is amazing. And let me please have the honor and privilege of introducing my co-host. This woman started selling crafts on her front lawn as an 8-year-old. Not an easy thing to do. Progressed to being a top income earner in the space of network marketing as a 19-year-old, but then did something even more extraordinary. At the age of 24 in a male-dominated industry, she became the #1 business broker in the state of Nevada at the age of 24. Youngest person ever to do it, first woman ever to do it, now speaks on stages all over the place, and we might be taking a trip to the great state of Utah coming up this weekend, speaking on Chris Crone's stage, and speaking on Tony Robbins' stage this upcoming Thursday. So it's going to be a busy week. Magic is in the air. This is the co-host of Heart of Influence, the one and only Bella Verita. Let's hear it for Bella. Please, Bella, what is your fun fact?
My fun fact is Sean Callaghan. I was sharing with everyone earlier. I grew up dyslexic. I barely graduated high school. I actually dropped out for a little while to sell drugs because I thought that would be a good career move until I had a gun held to my head and thought, maybe that's not the path that I want to go down. Went back to school, but I barely graduated with a 1.7 GPA. And now today, after a long career in entrepreneurial, I've gone back to college, and now in ministerial school, I have a 4.0 GPA. That's my fun fact.
Awesome job, Belle, and thank you for sharing that. And now let's dive in with these extraordinary people, and let's do the things.
Let's do the things.
Okay, so who is going first?
Let's start with Mr. Michael Castro.
Beautiful. Michael, Bella will be anybody you want her to be. She'll be an ideal client. She could be somebody you're looking to raise money from, charitably otherwise. Michael, who would you like Bella to be that you're going from hello to yes with?
I guess a charity.
Cool.
Sort of
So
charity,
you want her to have financial resources and to be potentially donating to a charity, and you represent the charity, or she has a charity?
The goal is for me to influence her. Is that the goal?
Yes. Yeah.
Got it. I guess I have a charity. I didn't really think this through, so.
Cool. No, all good. Or it could be she's an ideal client of yours. So you can go to charity. She could be an ideal client and just, go through that conversation. Which way would you like to go? Charity or ideal client?
I guess ideal client.
Cool. And what would an ideal client look like, Michael?
So an ideal client would be a mid-sized company headquartered in the tri-state area of the United States. When I say mid-size, 100 million plus in revenue. Potentially like a manufacturing or distribution type of business.
Cool. Bella, you make stuff. $100 million company.
Make or distribute. Yep. Yeah. Or maybe do both.
I've had a distributing business one time in my life.
Yeah.
Take us in.
Hello, this is Bella.
Hi, this is Michael.
Hey, Michael.
I'm wondering, is this a cold meeting or do I know you or?
However you prefer, wherever you'd like to take it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I got your number from my friend Sean, and he said that you'd be calling.
Yes. So Sean had mentioned that you do own a business in the field that I specialize in, right in the location where I operate and lend to companies. And he mentioned to me that that you may be interested in some financing for your business.
I am. Yeah, we've hit kind of a what I feel like is a plateau. And I feel, if we just had some infusion of capital, we could do some marketing, we could do some things and really grow the business.
Now, where you're banking currently, are they providing you with any financing?
I have not. I'm sure that they do. I bank with Chase Bank. I'm sure I could do something, but he recommended that I talk to you, so I thought I'd give it a shot.
Okay, great. So, in terms of financing, what are you looking for? As far as dollar amount. Just to tell you, up front, my loan size start from 5 to 50 million. But also I can agent deals where I can lead larger credit facilities if I have to bring in another bank, if it's larger than that amount. But in terms of financing, what are you looking for?
I think we were looking for, would like to do something, maybe around 20 million.
Okay, great. Now, as far as you mentioned marketing and in terms of what would be the use of proceeds?
Yeah, so definitely be marketing. We want to expand our inventory. We've been super successful with like 3 to 5 products, and we really want to expand the products and expand our marketing.
Okay. Now, have you ever, as far as working with an accountant, have they ever prepared financial statements for you?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, great. So typically the way I start these conversations out, obviously I know what you're looking to do, but it all comes down to the numbers first. And then it's the numbers first, and then it's the character of the company, the vision of the company. But the numbers have to make sense first. So I think the best thing for us to do is if I can maybe send you an email with all the financial information that I would need.
Okay.
And once I have all that information, I'll take a deep dive. And then we could set up another call and I'll just ask more directed questions around the financials and also where you want to go and how I can help.
That sounds great. Thank you so much, Michael.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, Michael, excellent work. We'll be back. Bella, who's going next?
Next up, we have Mr. Stephen Pemberton. Stephen Keanu Pemberton.
Yes. Stephen Keanu via Condios. And who would you like Bella to be?
So I would like for her to be the ideal client.
Okay. And what does that look like for you?
So what that looks like for us is one that comes to mind immediately is a jeweler who's been in business for a few years, has a brick and mortar location. So it could either be a storefront or a kiosk in a mall. And they have a little bit of online presence, but don't know how to grow it. So let's say it's someone who has physical products, physical jewelry in store, but they don't know how to actually get sales online.
Oof. All right. Let's take us in. You like jewelry, Miss Bella. Let's go.
I do. Hi, Stephen. This is Bella. How can I serve you?
Hey, Bella, this is Steven. So I got your number and it looks like that you're a jeweler in my local area. Is that correct?
Well, what's your local area?
So I am in Clarksville, Tennessee, right outside of Nashville. So I think you're in Nashville, am I right?
That's correct. Yes.
Awesome. So I was looking to get a little bit more information about you and your jewelry business because I was looking online and I really didn't see that much on it. So I just wanted to learn a little bit more about you and what you do.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so we have had the jewelry store for about 65 years. My parents started it, and we've been in the same location, serving the same people. We've had repeat customers, forever, but just being that, our clients are getting older, they're not investing as much, and I don't really know how to reach the young people. There's all kinds of people moving to Tennessee all the time. And I'm the daughter. I'm going to be taking over the business, and I just think there's a lot to do in the online since most people shop online now.
Yeah, I completely understand. Firstly, I just want to say congratulations. That's amazing. Most businesses do not make it 65 years. So that's incredible. Secondly is when it comes to the online space, I completely understand how daunting that can be if you've been selling majority in person. So it sounds like that's correct. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
So have you sold any online, or is that something that you're just looking to get started?
I mean, we've sold some. We did learn we needed to have some social media presence or some online presence. I mean, but we don't nearly put much on.
Right. So who's mainly doing that? Is that you doing that, or do you have a team doing that?
Oh no, I just do that myself, which is why it's not that great because I don't really know how all of it works, but I do my best. And our website is, pretty much one of those like snap and load type deals that make it pretty easy, but.
Yep. Yeah, I completely understand. I hear you. So that's actually what we do. That's what we specialize in is we just would do it for you because it sounds like you're stepping into this business. You have enough to worry about. Yeah. Why worry about the online space? Because you've been in business for 65 years. So you know what you're doing when it comes to the in-person stuff. I don't. I just want to be very clear. You guys are killing it in that aspect. For us, we've done all of our sales online. So I would love to partner with you and love to see what that looks like because for us, as we specialize online, you specialize in person. And I think that we could not only increase your sales, but really make your brand aware to the people around you and be able to grow something that you can pass on to, let's say, your kids if you decide to have any.
That would be great. That'd be great.
Awesome.
Let's do it.
Steven? Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
So Michael, Steven, great job. Bella,
thank you.
Let's see what the judges have to say.
Let's see what the judges have to say. So judges, Derek, Kevin, and Allan, what this looks like is 30 seconds of feedback for Michael and Steven, something that they did great, maybe something that they could optimize to be a little better.
Yeah.
And then a score of 1 to 10. 1 being you would rather go to the dentist and have a root canal than have a longer conversation, which I just spent 2.5 hours at the dentist yesterday. You don't want to do that, I promise. 5 is if they buy you one of those like fancy latte things at Starbucks, you might meet them for a cup of coffee. Or 10 being you would cancel your entire day, rent a private jet, and fly anywhere in the world that they are. So Derek, let's start with you. And how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Steven?
Yeah, I feel like Steven did well. I feel like he was able to relate well with you, Bella, and really he asked interesting questions, and overall I would rate him at an 8.
An 8. Awesome.
Thank you.
And how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Michael?
And Michael, yeah, I feel like you had a lot of clarity in what you said and how you presented yourself, and similar. I feel like in that scale of whether I would get on a plane and go join you, I would rate you at an 8.
Beautiful. Awesome.
Thank you, Derek.
Thank you, Derek. Let's go with Allan. Allan, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Michael?
This is very difficult. Wasn't planning to be a judge today, but Michael, I think you had the hardest job because you went first. I think that was a little difficult for you. So I really appreciate that you went first and broke the ice for us. So that was a good thing. What I would say is, on the positive side, I like the fact that you qualified by saying that you do loans between 5 and 50 million. That was a good thing. I think that that was a good way to set this up, so you understood that you had a potential client or not. You were able to set the table and not waste time. That was a good thing. On the negative side, I think it took a little while to get you started. Maybe that was because you broke the ice. So I think if you
I didn't know, just to comment, I kind of didn't know how, a lot of what I do is, these conversations are set up, particularly if you're in financing, there's a specific need. And I usually know that before I get on the phone. So I guess that's why I fumbled.
Right, so I think some of the setup was difficult for you. So because of that, I'd probably give you maybe a 7 or an 8, somewhere in that range too. But I think you had a hard job. So I could appreciate how difficult it was. And you want me to do Stephen next?
Yes, sir.
Stephen,
Hit me with it. Hit me with it, Allan.
I think you did a better job because you stole from Michael. Michael set you up and broke the ice, and you jumped right in, buddy. So I think you did a good job too. The only critique I would give you is I think I heard you ask it. I really didn't don't remember it perfectly, but I would always try to find out more about why Bella was calling you, why the connection. I think you did ask those questions, but I would look for the pain a little bit more of exactly what it is you need to help her do. Maybe get some goals out. I like the fact that you said that she was a face-to-face and you were an online one, and those are very different things, and that you wanted to partner and learn from her. I think that was very good. So I'd probably do the same thing with 8 or 7 or 8, something like in those ranges. I'm not sure I want to talk to either of you on an airplane. I want to talk about something more fun, but you find much better things to talk about than business. So
excellent job, Allan.
Yes. And then Kevin, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Stephen?
For Stephen, I'm going to agree with Allan, and I definitely think Stephen had, since he had some time to think about what to say, learning off Michael. But I think Stephen's approach was very good, very smooth, very welcoming. I think he would be able to ask a lot more questions than he would have gotten anybody to be able to answer those questions. The one thing I would have suggested that he get more into is just some more pain points that you were having. I don't think enough of the pain points came out for him to address.
Beautiful. And your score for
But overall, I would give him an 8.
An 8. Awesome. And then let's go your 30 seconds of feedback for Michael.
For Michael, he definitely started a little bit slow, but I think then he got his groove on. I like the fact that he did set things up and say, this is where we go between A and B. He wasn't going to waste your time or his time if it wasn't going to be a fit, which I liked, because you don't want to waste someone's time if you know right from the get-go it's just not going to work out. So I think he did ask some of those good qualifying questions, and I think he finished it up very strong. And because he went first, I'm going to give him an 8.5.
Oh, very nice. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin. Bella, I think it's time to take a nap.
No, because Michael and Stephen were kind of put on the spot. I think Allan, Kevin, and Derek felt a little bad for them. So as a collective, we get to turn the tables a little bit.
I didn't feel that bad for them.
What's that?
I didn't feel that bad for them. Wait a minute.
We get to turn the tables and put Sean's butt on the hot seat, where he's going to have to go from hello to yes on any random topic that someone here gets to choose. So Sean, how about you choose a number between 1 and 5?
Why do you do this to me every day? Okay, fine. I will pick the number 5.
Number 5, that is Mr. Allan. So Mr. Allan, you get to choose the scenario that Sean goes from hello to yes. It can be anything that is of service to you, anything political, charity, as long as it's integrity and it's a one-on-one conversation, so he could do that with you or anybody else that's here. Any scenario that comes to mind for you.
So between Sean and I, right?
It can be, yes.
Okay. Okay, Sean. So why don't you, Sean? I'm looking for an attorney, and why should I use your firm?
I will happily do that, Alan.
I want to give you a softball, Sean. Make it easy for you. Why should I use your firm, Sean?
But that's a softball
That's
for
a
sure.
softball.
So, and this will be in the you have a business litigation challenge. Is that fair?
Sure.
Or you want to have some other challenge?
I have a challenge. We're putting together some new paperwork dealing with signing our client. We're a payroll company. We want to sign our clients up, make sure that all of the security issues around people's private information is covered. I'll make it a little harder for you. Internationally, because sometimes we deal with companies that have people in America, but they live in a different country and they're working here. And nationally and internationally, there are different laws that I have to deal with. So what can you help me with as I put together paperwork on that?
Yeah. So
Contracts and things along those lines.
Yeah. So thanks so much, Alan, for giving me the 3 minutes to have a conversation with you today. Happy to jump in on it. But if I could ask you this, Alan, what is it that is your ultimate mission and vision? Like, what are you looking to do personally? How does this work fit in for you with your company, its expansion? Like, what's it all about for you, Alan?
Well, we want to grow a business that can serve our customers and that can serve our employees. The whole idea of this business is it's a servant attitude. We want to make sure that the business can make money, not so Alan gets rich and buys a boat. That I really don't care about that a whole lot. I just want to be able to feed my family and take care of us, live reasonably. And I'm really worried about my employees, making sure they're taken care of. And by the same token, we have to make money in order to be able to pay people so we can serve our clients. If we're not making money, we can't serve our clients. So those are the two things I'm worried about. And I'm worried about, I think the two biggest things for me that could hurt us is if a client's stealing something or an employee stealing something or some outside force comes in. So how do I protect myself legally in those areas so the clients understand what we're doing and we understand what they're doing?
Yeah, well, Alan, first let me acknowledge your heart, your servant leadership dynamic. It is present and clear that you put your employees first, right there alongside your clients, and that is admirable and present. So thank you for sharing that. Would it be okay if I shared a little bit about what we're up to and how that might connect with what you're seeking?
Absolutely.
So again, my name is Sean Callaghy. I've had the unique privilege and maybe the unfortunate privilege of seeing some of the most extraordinary and crazy things happen amongst the people. I'm one of only 2 attorneys in the country out of 1.2 million to have a top 100 national jury verdict between 2014 and 16, and the only one that was blind. In both of those cases, you had people who were unbelievably close to one another, where preposterously insane things happened. And in fact, multiple people went to jail in those 2 top 100 national jury verdicts, including an attorney. Because people, as you so appropriately pointed out, Alan, do some of the most strange, bizarre, and odd things. The unbelievably unfortunate dynamic in both of these cases, though, as exists in much of what happens in the world, is that these scenarios, these disputes, were completely avoidable. And they would have been avoided had there been the appropriate contracts in place. I think that in the space of transactional law, a lot of attorneys operate in a boilerplate fashion. They put things together that they just copy, cut, and paste. What we look to do is to truly create leverage against people doing wrong. For example, we highly recommend loser pays attorney's fees provisions always. If you're in integrity, your company is designed to be in integrity, which of course, Alan, yours is, having loser pays attorney's fees provision is a simple example of a vital piece to put into place. Now, you've also added an additional complexity, and we're always integrous and transparent. I don't know all the laws, and people in my firm do not know all the laws internationally in operating everywhere for the enforcement of your contracts and agreements. However, what our firm is uniquely committed to is making sure that in every transactional matter, every litigation matter, we are proactively thinking through everything that we do and the jurisdictional differences that could apply. And this would take a longer conversation with you to truly map out where a significant amount of your work and business may be done internationally, because how much business is done where could affect in other nations how jurisdictional issues turn out. So even though I certainly can't tell you, and quite frankly, I don't think anybody you're going to talk to is going to tell you all the laws in different states and nations, we are the people to put that together. And in final, I had the unique privilege of turning in the largest Ponzi schemer in the history of South Florida, who who wanted $8 million from my client. He had raised $1 billion from people and even blew out the birthday candles on the governor of Florida's birthday cake, at that time, Governor Christ. That's how deceptive this human being was and skilled. And with great humility, even though I was there with the former head of white collar crimes for the FBI, who endorsed the deal for my client, I saw through it because of the formula I've learned and developed for 25 years. At that time, it was about 17 years in, to clearly see through what I call level 5 listening that he was lying. And even though he was connected to the most prestigious and elite athletes in Florida, professional basketball players, football players, the highest level, the governor, he was being called an avenger in the newspapers for donating $1 million to a charity, had Arnold Schwarzenegger speaking at a 300-person law firm, I was able to see through it. So what comes when you work with us is a multi-contextual level of thinking to look through and see around corners to avoid litigation. So that's sort of the gist. To do that more appropriately, I'd be very happy to spend an hour with you or somebody on your team breaking down a little bit more about where you create business and how this all looks. And if any of this resonates with you, I'd be very happy to have the conversation. If it doesn't, I'm just grateful for the opportunity of speaking with you, Allan. So how does this resonate with you or not?
Very, very good. I just, we should have that hour, sit down and talk about it. I do appreciate it. I wouldn't mind going to the next step.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that. Out of roll, Allan, how did I do as your...
Great job. I think you answered my questions. There's more we would go through and sit down and talk about. I appreciate your examples and I appreciate your experience. So I think that's a good thing. A good job.
Cool. Thank you, Allan. Derek, how did that feel for you?
That's it's impressive how the way that you're able to speak with that amount of clarity and obviously you know your credentials, those stories are exceptional. You know, the times that you were able to put away that Ponzi scheme and those you know top law verdicts that you've had. All of that is, you know, as I listen to that, I want to work with somebody like that.
Well, thank you very much, Derek. And what we talk about all the time is in conveying our heroic, unique identity, is having contextualizing statements that creates the ability for people to see how we can serve them in the most powerfully direct and clear and precise ways after building a level of rapport, of course, and open listening. There's lots more to talk about. You know, obviously, these are very short interactions, but thank you for that, Derek. And I want to particularly thank Michael and Stephen, and let's start with you, Stephen, for both of you jumping in the participant seat. Stephen, thank you for your courage, vulnerability. I think you did an outstanding job today. So, Stephen, how was your time with us on The Real Raw today?
First off, thank you. I want to, the same with Bella's, I just want to thank you for the time. I always want to appreciate the people who have let me in and let me be able to just take a few minutes of their time. Secondly, is I want to say great job to Michael. And so my time here has been amazing. I had no idea I was going to have the opportunity to be able to speak like this and be able to have that kind of interaction. I didn't know what being a participant meant when I got on that call, but I'm thankful to be here. And I just want to say one quick note based on the way that you interacted with Allan was, for me, what I loved the most was that power of I don't know. Because I think that there's so much power in saying those words. Because so many times we as business owners want to have all the answers for our own business, for other people's business, if that is our business. And so many times what people really need to feel at one and at ease with you is just saying, I don't know. I cannot tell you 100% for sure that this is going to go the way that we foresee it going. But because, like you said, with our experience in these areas, this is how we see it going. But being in integrity, I don't want to tell you, yes, 100% this is how this is going to go. And I love that. And so being able to hear that and hear someone at your level use that power of I don't know to build a deeper level of rapport with him, because that's why he's going to the hour call, is because you had great experience. And on top of that is you let him know up front that you don't have the cure-all. You're not answering every single question. You know every single law that's ever been passed. because that's not in integrity. And that's what I loved about this time, and especially that interaction.
Well, Stephen, thank you. Appreciate that enormously, and your heart and your integrity and your courage for jumping into that participant seat. Thanks for being here today and for your beautifully kind words. Thank you.
Thank you.
Michael, same thing, brother. Thanks for jumping in. Thanks for kicking it off and leading this thing off. Really did a wonderful job. And how was your time with us today, Michael?
Great. It's a unique experience. I enjoyed it.
Very, very cool. Well, I think you did a great job, and I really appreciate the work you're doing in the world. So thank you for being here today, Michael. Thank you. Let's go, Kevin. Kevin, thank you for being here as well, for judging, for giving your authentic, heart-centered, open feedback. And how was your time with us today, Kevin?
I thought it was fun. I wasn't really sure what to expect, honestly, but these kind of role-playing things is fun to experience from time to time. I have not done one in a long time. So I'm very happy I was not a participant. Thank you very much, Bella. But so I thought it was great. It's good to hear these types of things. It's nice to meet new people, and I enjoyed it.
Cool. Well, thank you, Kevin. Allan, thanks for the scenario. Appreciate that very much, and for the back and forth. How was your time with us today, Allan?
Oh, very good. I enjoy meeting everybody. I want to get more from Bella. I hear she's a superstar. From what your resume is tremendous there, and you've been a really great co-host. I appreciate it. So thank you for your help, and I appreciate everyone's stories and everyone's testimonies as they talked about themselves and their businesses. And thank you for pulling this together. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Allan. Awesome. And Derek, as we wind it down, thank you for your kind words. And how was your time with us today?
I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun, and I enjoyed getting to know each of you. Really a wealth of character and high caliber individuals. So that was a privilege for me. And then it's a lot of fun to practice, to role play, and as I watch kids, and they do that all the time. They're always playing something, imagining, practicing sports, whatever it is. And so getting in and being able to practice how we interact with people, how we influence people is it's super valuable. And I've really enjoyed that today.
Awesome. Well, appreciate you very much, Derek, of course. Thank you. Bella, appreciate you. You are a rock star and heart-centered leader, no doubt. And any final from you today, Belle?
Finals has just been an extraordinary group of individuals. Loved connecting with everyone, having everyone here. Each show kind of takes its own form, and it's absolutely extraordinary group, and it's an honor and a privilege to work side by side with you, Sean, as who was recently named one of New Jersey's most influential attorneys. And Tony Robbins recently said that there's no one who leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callaghan. If you don't know what he's up to, then you need to. And it's an honor and a privilege to be here. So thank you so much. And back to you.
Yeah, appreciate that. So what we do here is we play with the superpower of influence. We connect some fine folks. And if this is the end of that journey, what I would purport is what Oprah Winfrey said truly resonates. When we leave people saying, I see you, I hear you, and what you say matters to me, we transform the listening process and create a completely different level of rapport that takes that default no from people and creates a schism and begins to open up listening. And of course, that could be used integrously or non-integrously, as we refer to with the Ponzi scheme, because he was pretty good at doing that. But the pathway of integrity is being authentically transparent and seeking to add more value than we take. And that was our attempt here today, to come forward first and give. And if there's a desire, there's some resonance, what happened here, we do free trainings that we'd happily share with you on how to rapidly grow and accelerate business. You might go, hey, I'm super successful. Well, one of our financial clients, Rob Gill, was very successful. He made $1 million in a year. And we took his business from 8 sales meetings per month to more than 1,000 sales meetings per month as his team scaled from 3 to 30 over the course of the last 3 years. And we've had the unique privilege in Tony Robbins' stage of me delivering his highest program sale and we 4x'd those numbers, at least at Business Mastery, from one year to the next. And in a number of other settings have broken different sales records, and that's why I'll be up on that stage at Business Mastery for him. I don't get paid to do it. I do it as a thank you to Tony and all that his work taught me. I don't teach Tony's work, but I was certainly benefited massively over the last 25 years of my life from things that he's taught. Our work sits in the space of integrous influence, how to apply it for exponentially growing and increasing our business, and emotionally how to get yourself to use it. So if any of that resonates, there's more to be done. My co-founder, Adam Gugino, took the company from 3 million, his company from 3 million to $750 million. It was in Inc. 500 magazine 3 consecutive years. And what we do for people is give, give, give. And we want you to feel and experience more that we have to offer if there's more that you're seeking in the world. And again, if not, thank you for spending that beautiful time with us here today. Again, my name is Sean Callaghy. On behalf of my co-host, Bella Verita, I do believe, even though I am physically blind, I think we're all blind at some level.
And just learning to see. Bye-bye, everyone.
Be well.